Hello, this is a quick video to show the mixing process for one of David's multi-instrument tracks for his Welcome to Welcome album. We have put some videos up on YouTube, but they have been so far video albums recorded with a camcorder and using just the camcorder's inbuilt microphones. This time it's a little bit different. It's an audio album, and David's incorporated several instruments, and I'm doing the stereo mixing. And guess what? I haven't done stereo mixing before, so it'd be quite interesting to get some feedback and thoughts on whether I'm getting this right. I take my lead from David in terms of the sound he wants, but as you'll see, when it goes from into the stereo mix, you can see there's so many variables here, and this is what I've come up with. I will be playing the music shortly, but I'll just very quickly run through this. David's voice is at the centre, if we think of the whole field from left to right. Just slightly left is the bass guitar. Slightly right, the African drum, and his lead guitar is spread throughout 3/4, 75% of that left to right range. The piano, you'll hear, is spread 100% wide, and I forgot to mention the little Yamaha down here has drum samples and cymbals and so on. That's in the centre. I've basically taken the lead from just advice I found online that bassy instruments, particularly drums and so on, are best kept close to the centre. The vocal, of course, has to be at the centre, and there's a bit of discretion with the lead guitar and the piano. So let's hear it play. I'm gonna basically make all the instruments live, if you like, and you see them turning to, well, in this case blue, doesn't have to be blue, there are other colours. This mixing console are the volumes and the left right position. So let's have a wee listen to this. Oops, that's a mistake, I'll edit that out. Starting from the beginning, let's listen.
I found my soul, I'm in control. I found the flaws, it's all I've got. When I find on the side of town, find my crown coming down to you.
Okay, I'll just stop it there and just show you how this was built up, really. So first of all, if we ignore the vocals, because they tend to be very much prominent, so I'll turn the vocals off, and I'll start just by looking at the rhythm. I'll turn off the lead guitar, and I'll tell you what, I'll turn off everything and start just with one instrument. I'm going to start with the bass guitar, and we'll just listen to that on its own. And just to demonstrate, this can actually, the volume can be changed here, so I'll just play that again, and we'll go up from -13 to very quiet. So that's the bass guitar. Now, although it's 20% to the left, it's very difficult for people to locate instruments that are quite bassy. So you might not be able to realise it's 20% to the left. And the reason I did shift that in the African drum is it clears some space in the centre for David's voice. So that's countered by, on the right hand side, the African drum, hand drum. So if we solo that, it's down here. We'll go to the beginning, hear that play. Just now, if you've got very good hearing, you'll hear very in the background other noise. That's because the hand drum is recorded with a microphone, and you're hearing some of the sound that's played back on the amplifier. But it is minimal, and I think it'll be swamped by all the other instruments. So if we hear the bass guitar and the African drum together, sorry, I've done the wrong thing. Let's see, bass guitar and African drum. We'll go to the beginning, we can hear those two together. So those two kind of balance each out, and we've got the Yamaha drum machine. I'll just solo that. We'll go to the beginning and listen to that. So that's something that works with sampled sounds. So there's various drums and cymbals and so on. So what I'll do is we'll go to the beginning and we'll hear the whole of the rhythm section together. The Yamaha drum machine is in the center, and we'll add the bass guitar and African drums. So bass guitar is getting switched on, and the African hand drum is also switched on. And when it's playing, watch this little triangle. There is a vertical line here, but it's difficult to see. So watch that, the position of that. Okay, so far that's mono. And let's see what we can add. We can add, or have a wee look at the lead guitar there. So I always get these two mixed up. I'll solo that, and we'll just listen to that now. You'll see that that is actually one of the stereo tracks present here. The other one is the piano, and so we'll just hear that play on its own. And you should feel or hear the spread in that sound across most of the stereo field. So just play that. So that gives it a certain breadth there. Now the other instrument that is spread quite widely, and these numbers 75%, 100%, just popped into my head. I don't know if it sounds good like that or not. So, but it's making full use of that stereo opportunity. So we'll listen to just the piano now. Obviously, I'm going to jump ahead here, and I'll just slip that wee bit. So you'll see it coming and playing. So that's the piano only features in two sections here. So putting the piano and the electric guitar together, we'll just oh, I don't want to do that. Unmute the electric guitar. So two stereo tracks in operation here, the electric guitar and the electric piano, and let's hear how that goes. Right, okay, so what we could do is basically turn on all the instruments, I think, and not turning on David's voice as yet because the vocals tend to dominate. So this is very probably the instrumental version. So we got David's voice here. So we'll just run in with the instrumental version. I'll go to the beginning and let's listen to that. So the vocals would dominate, so we're not playing them now till we see or hear the mix of all the other instruments. I think that's not too bad. And as for volume, that can be made a lot louder, but I don't do that at this stage. I mean, that's all done in the final stages, where I maximise the volume so that the music's going to be intrinsically loud as possible, but whether you choose to play it at that volume or not depends on what you fancy. David does like it to be played loud if people want it to be played loud. So we'll solo David's voice, I think, next. Now, I have done one or two things. The vocals, David's using a little echo pedal before it reaches the recording stage. So what that does independently is to add a bit of echo and also a bit of correction. And you may hear the effects of that in this. So I'll just start that playing because it's a wee while before. And this is, again, this is that little quiet noise there is the microphone picking up the playback from the amplifier. But it's very, very quiet, and so we'll just let that continue. So I'll start here at the beginning of David's vocals. So we'll hear David on his own for the first time.
I found my soul, I'm in control. I found the thoughts, it's all I've got. Gonna find other side of town, find my crown, coming down to you. So
that's the vocal. You can hear the added echo effects. I've only really done a couple of things to the vocal track once it's been received at the recording stage, which is where I pick it up. So if we have a look, I've basically, what have I done? I've added a little filter to it, so it knocks out all any sort of high frequency stuff, because David's male voice is topping out around this area, so all the rest gets reduced. So I've done that, and I've also, where are we? Let me think. Graphic Equalizer, great, it's in there somewhere. Where is it? I should know where that is. I use it all the time. There it is. And this range here, these are the very low frequencies, okay, the very low pitch. If you wanted to bass someone's voice up, if they needed it, you'd start boosting down at this level. This range here, and it's, people say, from maybe 2.5 kilohertz up to, you know, round about 5 kilohertz or so on, improves the clarity. So you've got a wee boost there that, and it really does work, because I've listened to it with and without this, so I do that. And that's about it. So we can, we'll hear David just a little bit more, and then I'll put it all together again. You can hear the whole lot.
Gonna find another side of town, find my crown, coming down to you. Lost in the silence, I know what I have to do. The end of violence, I walk towards the truth. Gonna take it far, where we are, I'm in a car, coming down to you.
Now, if we put it all together, and there is a shortcut for unmuting everything, but I'll just go through and do it by hand there. So everything's set to play, and I'll let you hear the whole song from beginning to end. I think I'll just do that and see how that sounds.
I found my soul, I'm in control. I found the thoughts, it's all I've got. Gonna find other side of town, find my crown, coming down to you. Gonna find other side of town, find my crown, coming down to you. Lost in the silence, I know what I have to do. The end of violence, I walk towards the truth. Gonna take it far, where we are, I'm in a car, coming down to you. Gonna take it far, where we are, I'm in a car, coming down to you. Now leaves in the trees, clouds melt in the sky. Sun shines on the free, no need to get high. Gonna find my way, get to stay, another day coming down to you. Gonna find my way, get to stay, another day coming down to you. Coming down to you, coming down to you, coming down to you.
There you go. And so the general guidelines are followed. Vocals, like David's, are always in the centre. Any sort of heavy rhythm, like the samples that come from the Yamaha drum machine, bass guitar African, should be at centre or close to centre. Got to be careful with David's voice because there's a lot of bass instruments competing in this central region. So that's why I did that little boost to the certain, using the graphic equalizer to kind of improve the clarity. So it's not just volume. Volume's one of the main things to make the vocals stand out, but that little graphic equalizer trick does actually work. I'm sure I know how to use this basically. I'm sure I do. I'll select the vocal track and get the graphic equalizer up. So that is the frequency range. So that's above the improve your bass of your voice region. So and it'd be very difficult to tell really. There are some aspects of the echo pedal and the setup might be introduced in the vocals, but overall I think it's a really good track really. And my problem is trying to tweak all these different things. I mean, should the piano be 100% wide? Should the lead guitar be 75% wide? I did find by shifting bass guitar and African drum it left a bit of room for David's voice in here, but there was nowhere else really to put all those Yamaha samples, the ones with the big heavy bass drum and other types of drum and cymbals really. So it's quite crowded in here, and of course I can adjust volume. So we'll play about, just as a final wee thing, we'll play about with adjusting volumes as it plays. So perhaps the easiest thing is, if you can't read this on your television, perhaps just look at the symbols. They're abstract symbols, so you'll know which instrument I'm playing about with, and this will happen as it's being played. So it's difficult to change I don't want to change the position of these anymore because they really ought to be close to centre, but I can alter the volume. So that's so many things to adjust, so many decisions to make about the stereo, and I'll mess about with this. This is a bit of just altering everything as it plays.
I found my soul, I'm in control. I found the thoughts, it's all I've got. Gonna find other side of town, find my crowd coming down to you. Gonna find other side of town, find my crowd coming down to you. Lost in the silence, I know what I have to do. The end of violence, I walk toward the truth. Gonna take it far, where we are, in a car, coming down to you. Gonna take it far, where we are, in a car, coming down to you. Leaves in the trees, clouds melt in the sky. Sun shines on the free, no need to get high. Gonna find my way, get to stay, another day coming down to you. Gonna find my way, get to stay, another day coming down to you. Coming down to you. Coming down to you. Coming down to you.
Well, there you go. Once this has been fully done, you'll probably end up with tinnitus, really, by the volume that's possible, but there's a bit of headroom there in volume overall. So that's it, really. So many things to change, so many things to alter. That's a go, and it would be interesting if there's any feedback on how the overall sound, how it's been put together, really. Okay, good. Putting Audacity to bed now and stopping the recording. By the way, it's much better if you listen on headphones, but be careful about volume. And I'll just stop the recording now.